Hey, Pure Spirits, it's your life coach Diamond. So, let's talk about spiritual warfare. Okay? Spiritual warfare is not just witchcraft, it's like your car breaks down, you already don't have that much money, things are going left. It's like sometimes everything is going left and things are just going real smooth and you ain't see it coming. You know what I'm saying? Those are different forms of spiritual warfare, and it could also be witchcraft as well. Witchcraft could be behind that, but it could just really be the devil too, right? And it could also be letting it happen because he's testing you to see if in that time you're going to call on him and not think that that's the time to get it done yourself or call on friends or family, which he might guide you to do that, but initially it's because he wants you to come to him in prayer and pray about it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get nightmares, spiritual attack, that's spiritual warfare. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's always good to take the message out of a dream, especially if it's a nightmare, because it could also be a warning from God. But, if you're having any visions or anything about any negative things happening to you or your loved ones, and it's constant, those are things that you rebuke and you get into prayer about, because those are all spiritual warfare attacks. Okay? Now, spiritual warfare does happen to everyone, but when you are not lukewarm, the devil attacks you a lot more because he knows that the path that you're on, you're going to bring others with you to God and salvation. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes that's why your attack might be worse than someone else. You might have a coworker or even a friend or a family member who doesn't go through as much spiritual warfare as you, but you're the one who has a really great relationship with God. You're the one who has a ministry. You talk to people about God. You pray for people. You get what I'm saying? Your friend, coworker, or whoever might not do that. That doesn't mean they're a bad person. That's just not a part of their purpose, right? So your attacks might be bigger. You might be like, dang, why is something always happening to me? Because it's all a part of God's plan to strengthen you during those hard times. You don't know what could be up ahead in the future. You don't know what guidance you could give people based on what you are going through. You could help someone going through it way worse, or you might be going through it worse than someone who you're going to help in the future. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, those are testimonies sometimes where you let people know like God always is there for you, and they're like, okay, well, I'm going through this and that. And then that's when you could tell them, like, I've been through that times 10, like, and God got me through it. I done been in the shelter, all of that. Like, I done really been through stuff with God, me personally. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, to get out of that and to be in the situation that I'm in now, where I have my place, I have my food on my table, I'm married, I have children, like, you know what I'm saying? I lost one of my parents. I still have my mom, still have my grandfather. Like, those are all a lot of things that we take for granted are, you know, things that we need to be grateful for. And when you go through the spiritual warfare, it's always good to be having gratitude for what you do have, regardless of what's happening. Because outside of prayer, it's one of the other things that is going to get you through that situation at that time. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was in that situation, I was always thankful that I was able to have food to eat. You know what I'm saying? Or be able to at least hang out with my friends and chill and laugh, listen to music. Like, those were my concerns at that time. I didn't have to worry about car notes and rent and stuff like that, because I was literally in like a place where I had to have a roommate, and there was so much nasty attitudes and just unsanitary. Just, it was just a very different experience, and it was very humbling, especially since I came from a different type of lifestyle where I kind of had pretty much everything provided for me from my parents. So I just am saying this to motivate you guys that spiritual warfare is something that happens to God's strongest soldiers, especially when it's so deep like that, where you just feel like you just don't get a break every time you turn around. Everything is going wrong. You think you're going to come through with this, and then something goes wrong with that. That's spiritual warfare, because the devil knows that once you get through that situation, it's going to change things. Okay, so whoever's going through that out there right now, I pray that God give you the strength to get through it and the prayers to say. Um, you know, you guys can always message me on here if you need any prayers. And I wish you guys the best. Thanks so much for tuning in to another video. It's your life coach Diamond signing out.